Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to continue our flight into exploring another expression today. And yesterday we talked about 无事生非, which is trying to stop somebody from complaining. And you say, there is nothing wrong here. Why you're complaining? So that's 无事生非. Today we have 非同小可. Okay. It's relatively simple characters compared with the previous few days, some big concepts back then, but today's relatively easy, but it's still an important and commonly used concept. 非同小可. We sometimes use in our language when we say 非同小可 means it's extraordinary. It's not the usual happening. It's something rarely happened. Therefore, it's not a small, like 小可, like a small possibility. It's not even a small possibility. It's beyond the small possibility. Okay, 非同, not the same, right? So it's comparing, not similar to, not comparable to something. Okay, so that's 非同. So this negation came from this mirror image that yesterday explained of this mirror of, because the 非, you can see it's a mirror image of the left and right side. Well, actually each side got the three strokes. And then because it's a mirror, so one side is considered the original, the real, and the other side is the mirror image or the projection of the original. So however, the original is going to change, and then the right side is going to reflect that, right? But still, it's not the original. The original, if the original copy of that is going to be like that again, right? But I don't have my second left hand to do exact the same. I only have the right hand. So this opposing side becomes the negation or the opposite side of the original. So that's why it becomes used as a negation. Okay, 同, we have this almost like a shelter. It's a space that carved out from the, supposedly in that frame is the world, right? It's an empty world. And then you carve out this big arch thing. That means something under the roof or some space within. So it's not necessarily like under the roof, because if it's under the roof, there's a little chimney on top of that. That's like a domestic space. But here, without that chimney, that simply means it's a space, like within a scope. So yeah, I guess that's a good word, scoping. So like within that scope, so there is a boundary of, like within this whole wide world, there is a boundary of which world we're talking about, a subset of that space. Then there's one, this horizontal line is one mouse. So one mouse means one voice, one opinions, one understanding or saying of things. So that means within the scope, only one voice exists. That means everything is the same. So it's highly homogeneous, high homogeny. Everything is standardized, a standard or uniform. There's no second voice in there. So that's a Chinese way to express something is the same. Like you don't have a second voice. It's everything is one. It's one line. So 非同, just, okay, you have to imagine it's a negate and not the same. That means this is different, right? Simply is like different. About what? So about the small possibility. Okay, this concept small, I still like my theory because I don't like to view this as, according to some scholars, some scattered sand, scattered. So therefore it's a sand, grains of the sand, therefore it's a small. Doesn't really make much sense to me, even if, I mean, a lot of Chinese characters do come from the representation of our physical world. But here I still like to think logically, because small and big are really really in relative. It's always smaller than something or bigger than something. When we say small and big, it's really, we already have that benchmarking unset as a context to that. So it's a small language creators probably just created as smaller than. That is when I pair small and big, the two Chinese characters that looks almost similar, except that this two line in the small character is separated with a vertical line. So that means cut something in half. Therefore, each side is half the original, like that. Versus big is with a horizontal line. That is the binder of the two pieces into one. So that means double the size, right? Double the size of the original each side. So there is a comparison, there is a relatively, there is a beginning and after. That's how I view the concept of big and small was created. So here in any case, it's a smaller than, okay, 可. I translate as possible, but originally it means, you see the mouse symbol, right? This mouse symbol is human speaking. This is human speaking as well, but this is human speaking to human. This is human speaking to the divine. I call it the profession of the divine decoder. So back then, the need to talk to the divine was high. I'm not sure like today if we still have a need to talk to the divine. I guess like prayers, right? Prayers is talking to the divine on an individual level. But back then, the society probably assigned some specially knowledgeable, trained, or at least posed as somebody who's competent enough to talk to the divine, that they can read the signs from the sky or from the weather condition to kind of forecast of what the divine was saying, what you better prepare on the earth, right? So such divine decoder, this is the divine decoder's mouse, and then this is a kind of like a podium. That's how I read it. So even if it's coming with a kind of elegant curve over there, a little bit of off balance, but like visually, actually it is balanced because this is kind of a center of the frame, and then the surface of the podium, and then there is this divine decoder kind of using that podium as a dedicated location to speak to the divine or to decode, not maybe talking to the divine, but trying to understand, at least to capture the message from the divine. And so divine decoder becomes the yay or nay sayer back then in ancient society to tell you, yes, you can do this, or no, you cannot do it. Because divine decoder is the person who are knowledgeable enough to read what's going to happen, right? So that becomes eventually a possibility or permission. So if a divine decoder has the authority or the capacity to read the message from divine, you better listen to that, right? And that divine decoder eventually means, yes, you can do it. So it's a kind of a permission. It's 可. In contemporary Chinese, we almost translate it as can. I mean, for a Chinese ear, it's kind of easy to convert the two because 可 and can kind of sound the same as well. So 可 is English can, and the English can also imply possibility. That means you're possible to do that. It's either permitted by the divine decoder, or there is a chance that you can do this without harming yourself or your crops or however the case. So 小可 means small possibility. 非同小可 means it's not the same from small possibility. That means it's different, right? Okay, I have to think about it. 非同 means it's not the same. It's different from small possibility. So 小可. So if it's a 小可, that means a small possibility. It means small chance. So 非同小可, it means it's different from small chance. So it's different from small chance event. That means it's not, okay, small chance event means unusual things, right? And 非同小可 means it's more than, it's not even unusual. This is not something of a rare occurrence. It's even rarer. It's like beyond the understanding of what's possible. That's the current understanding of what 非同小可 is. So it's simply, well, I translate it as unusual. But 非同小可 probably is like chances are it's smaller than small event. So let's quantify it. If a small event, like 25% of possibilities, okay? So compare with the 75%, this 25 possibility is already a 小可, a smaller possibility. And it is said it's different. It's not the same as a small possibility. That means it's even smaller than the small possibility. It could be another 25% of the original 25%, right? And that's like what? Less than 10%, less than 5% chance. And less than 5% it means really extremely small chance event. So, okay, here I put a picture of a purple color sky. Apparently, it is somebody who graphically changed the color of the sky. But if it does occur in nature, if you go out there in this fall scenery, you see the fall colors, but all of a sudden the sky looks purple to you. If it's not a sunset color, I mean, it's not sunset time, and even if it's a sunset time, this kind of extreme purple color all over the sky, that would be the context to use 非同小可. That's more than unusual. It's unusual. Okay, so this double unusual is the meaning of 非同小可. Okay, cash into the currency of thinking by one word a day. See you another day.